Congratulations! What an exciting time for you as you progress through your pregnancy. Firstly, please make sure you speak to reception. Our reception team will have some forms for you to fill out, and you'll also need to get a clearance from your doctor to say that they are happy for you to continue with Pilates throughout your pregnancy. Our reception team will also assist you to book in for a private session with one of our pregnancy trained instructors. In this session, we will take you through some exercises that are safe for you to do whilst pregnant. This way we can guarantee that you and baby are kept as safe as possible. Today we're going to look at some of the exercises that you can go to whilst in class. So these are really good exercises that you can go to at any time. There will be some exercises that you are not able to do. So for example, in a group reformer class, we would be doing planks, upper body curl-ups, laying on our tummy. These are exercises that aren't recommended for pregnant ladies whilst they're in a group reformer class. So let's look at some of these exercises that you can do. Instead of laying down on your back, at Kea we have our pregnancy cushions. They're big V cushions. I don't have one with me today, but I can demonstrate how it's used. So we place the cushion against the shoulder rests, and then you sit yourself and lay back on the cushion. Placing your feet on the foot bar, you'll press out and come in. And you can put your arms forward like this, and you'll have the cushion behind you. Also, a nice alternative for supine leg press is to take sideline leg press. So you can use a yoga block, or you could put your arm under your head. Coming to sideline, think of lifting baby up towards you and stretching your top waist. Take your top foot onto the foot bar, and we take a single sideline leg press. This can also be taken with the leg in a rotation. Now it's important when you work with your springs that you take your spring load just slightly lighter. Your instructor will definitely guide you, but for example, you could normally do sideline leg press with 3 red springs or 2 red and a blue. Whilst you're pregnant, just drop that spring load down a little bit lighter, so probably 2 red springs. Now instead of hip rolls, I'll show you a hip roll. Now we don't encourage this whilst you're pregnant because this is taking baby higher than your heart. So the modification whilst you're pregnant would be a 4-point kneel position. Now this could be on a box, or you could do this on the bed. Spinal mobility, so moving your spine, taking cat stretches. Thinking of lifting baby up towards you. And then as you extend, still supporting your baby. So we don't want to collapse, still lift. Coming into rotations. Really important to keep that mobility through the spine. Now working into the glutes and hamstrings. Keeping your spine as centered as possible. Baby lifted. We can take a leg lift. A knee bend. And then little pulses. Now if you have the stability, you can definitely do opposite arm and leg. So they're a great go-to exercise. So 4-point kneel, fantastic. Now in class, we often do sideline work where we place the top foot in the strap. Now, whilst you're pregnant, you're not going to be putting the foot in the strap. So we take it laying down as before, take the top leg out, lift baby up, stretch the top waist. And then you'd just be able to do all the same movements as the rest of the class. But you could also do these movements while everybody's laying on their back, and they could be doing feet in straps. So this is a nice little combination. Little leg lifts, probably about 10 to 15. Flexing the hip and the knee. Again, 10 to 15. And you want to imagine that leg's on a table. Little circles. And little circles the other way. This gives you great strength in your glutes, which will assist with pelvic stability. Clams, the feet and knees are layered. Again, still lifting baby, lengthening the top waist. Top knee lifting. 10 to 15. Top leg lifting. And then keep the knees down, lift the feet. And taking a clam like this. So at any point in the class, if there's an exercise that you're not able to do, so it could be abdominal work, you could do your 4-point kneel or your sideline work. Now in class, we do down stretches. Down stretches are a great exercise for when you're pregnant. A down stretch will strengthen your shoulders. Keep your core nice and strong. Think of lifting baby towards your body as you move the bed. Now in a group class, we would not allow our pregnant members to lift their knees off the bed. To keep you and baby safe, just keep those knees down. And you want to work with a spring load of a red spring, possibly a little bit more to give you support and control if you need it. Standing work. Now when we work with standing on the bed, it's important we use a spring load to support us and give us control. So we're actually only going to be working into these muscles. We're not working the adductors. So we'll work with a red spring or possibly a red and yellow to give you a little bit more support and control. Stepping onto your safe part of the bed first, be it the platform extender or wood, and then onto the moving carriage. So you can take your squats and keep the bed still. You could move the bed out slightly and squat. If you're feeling unsteady, by all means, just take the squats on the floor. Now when we work with hip abduction, that's moving the bed out to the side, you're going to focus on lifting baby up and maintaining control of the bed. Pressing out, just slightly wider than your hips, and return. We are not aiming to go all the way out here. So it's a smaller movement with control, thinking of lifting baby and holding your good posture. Remember, as you progress through your pregnancy, your body awareness is going to change. Your center line of gravity changes. Your posture will change. So it's important to work perhaps a little bit slower and with more control. Lunges and scooters. So for a scooter, anything from a red to a yellow, and we're going to work with a slightly smaller range. So instead of pushing the leg all the way out like this, we'll just keep that leg a little bit closer to us. So for lunges, you would use a blue spring. And again, keep the movement range a little bit smaller. If you have the balance, you can take your hands behind your back or use your arms. But remember, this foot bar is there to give you assistance. Upper body work. So if the class is taking supine or laying down on their back, hands in straps, or laying on their tummies on the box, or taking a high kneel and pulling the ropes. You will take those movements seated on a box. When you're seated on the box, sit up tall and straight, legs together. However, if it's more comfortable for you, especially as you progress through your pregnancy, you can take your feet apart. The arm movements, the instructor would guide you through. However, so that you have an idea, you can do shoulder extensions, tricep press, bicep curls, shoulder abductions, all the time thinking of keeping your torso lifted, your spine lengthened. And then for rows, it's nice to cross over and hold the ropes, opening through the chest and working into those back muscles. When you take seated work or arm work facing the front of the bed, just make sure that you've got a space between the back of the box and your bottom, and then you can take your seated work with the rest of the class. Short box exercises. So you can take all of these exercises, but we modify them for you. You can have your feet on the carriage or tuck your feet under the strap, whichever is more comfortable for you. Round back. So instead of rolling back with big range of movement, we're going to sit tall and straight and take a pelvic tilt. This comes from your lumbar spine, and you want to think of stretching your spine down. Hinge or straight back. A small range of movement, so just far enough that you feel those muscles switch on and return. You never want to take yourself to that quivering and shaking. That is definitely working too hard. With a twist, we grow as we rotate, but no pulses. Side bend or side lift. So we're going to sit with our legs either side, put the hands here, gliding sideways and returning up. Gliding sideways, returning up. Now, one exercise which is a very good one to work into the hamstrings is to take the box towards the back of the bed on the rails. This can also be done with the foot bar. So you've either popped your box on the rails or the foot bar has come up to the very far position. We're on a red spring or a blue and a yellow. Hook the heel over the shoulder rest, pull it towards you. You're going to hold the box or hold the foot bar, hook the other foot. So as we do these movements, you're going to think lift baby towards you and grow through your head and spine. Bending the knees, this will work your hamstrings, and return. You're also going to be working those core muscles to keep your body nice and still. To come out of it, put the foot down and guide the bed. So in your class, you're going to be working with the whole class, but there will be times when exercises are not suitable for a pregnant member. So we now know that we can do 4-point kneel, side lying work, down stretches, seated arm work, seated on the box to pull the carriage in. And one last exercise, which is one of my favorites, the mermaid. So one red spring. Instead of taking your legs into this side position, we'll cross our legs. And this just ensures that our pelvis stays nice and even. Lift up, Bending over, feeling that lovely stretch through the waist, through the rib cage, and return. Lift up, bending over, and return. Now, if you have any questions, then please ask at reception and they will give you my contact details. My name's Gaynor. I wish you all the best through your pregnancy journey. Stay safe and enjoy your classes.